Okay, problem number 9, the last one, the biggest one as well. So we want to find all these lettered angles, so we have a lot to do. Uh, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to mark stuff I know. I know that that is a right angle, I know that that is a right angle, and I know that that is a right angle. Because of that one right angle, that all has to be true. Notice L1 is parallel to L2, those two lines there. We have same side interior angles are supplementary, so that tells me that that is also a right angle, which makes that and that and that a right angle. So we can see that C has to, let's do this, let's go A equals B equals C equals, I guess you don't need to watch this. Okay, so raise your hand if you hate how these angles were labeled. I do. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, M, N, P. What? No, hate it. Okay, but let's keep going. Let's see what we know. So we know that C is then 90 degrees. Let's see what else we can figure out. Hey, look, vertical angles. So A is 116. That's cool. I like knowing things quickly like that. See, is there anything else that stands out that we can say? Well, we might need to find some angles that aren't specifically asked for. So, let's think about what we know. We know that if that A is 116, then this angle right here is also 116 because we are dealing with these lines being parallel, and those are alternate interior angles. So that tells us then that B is going to be 180 minus 116, which is going to be a 64. So I'm going to go ahead and say that B is 64 degrees. What can I now say then? Well, notice in this quadrilateral right here, I have 3 of the angles, which then will allow me to find D, because a quadrilateral has to add up to 360 degrees on the interior. So I have 116 and 64 and 98. So let's add that all up. You should get 278, and then if you subtract 278 from 360, you should get 82. So that tells me that D has to be 82. So I've found 4 of these values so far, off to a pretty good start. Let's see where else I can go. Well, again, if that's 116, I know this angle here is 64. If this is 82 degrees, I know that this angle has to be 98 degrees. And notice that P and E are marked as congruent. So let's figure out 98 plus 64. So 98 plus 64 is going to give you 162. So if I take 360 and subtract 162, that tells me I have 198 degrees remaining for angles E and P, and they're congruent, so they divide that by 2 to get 99 degrees for each of these angles, 99 and 99. So now I can go and I can mark E as 99 degrees, and I can mark P as 99 degrees. So I'm continuing to progress. This is a good thing. Let's keep this going. 180 minus 98 is going to be 82 right there. 64, 180 minus 64 is going to be 116. Oh wait, vertical angles, knew that already. Whoops. But now notice we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shape. A 5-sided shape is going to have n minus 2, which is 3, times 180 degrees. So it's going to have 540 degrees on its interior. So 540 minus 82 minus 116 minus 138 minus that other 116 gives you 88. So F has to be 88 degrees. So boom, boom, boom. There's another one. All right, where else can we go? We know this little dude is 64 right there. Where else? Where else? Where else? Hey, look, we can find N. N is part of this 1, 2, 3, 4 sided shape. And we know we have angles of 36, 116, and 90. So take 360 minus 36 minus 116 minus 90 to find that n has to equal 118 degrees. 118 degrees for n right there. And now let's find m, because if you notice this right there, add those three angles together, that is a complete circle. Complete circles have 360 degrees. So 360 minus 106 minus 118 equals 136 for m. So m is 136 degrees. We can continue this train, and we can figure out what that angle right there is. Notice that would be the same as K, because those are indeed vertical angles. Again, that's a quadrilateral, so 360 minus 90 minus 136 minus 60 gives me 74 degrees for that angle, which tells me K is also 74 degrees. So if K is 74 degrees, then this angle right there is also 74 degrees, which means that J has to be 106 degrees, because those are supplementary angles because they form a linear pair. So J is 106 degrees. Where can I go from here? Similarly to what we did before, notice again we got a full circle right there. So 360 minus 122 minus 88 is 150. So G is 150. Notice that there's not really any particular specific strategy for this. I'm just noticing things and filling them out. So just look for stuff you know and use it. So last thing we need to find is H right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's another quadrilateral, and we have 1, 2, 3 of the angles. So 360 minus 150 minus 64 minus 90 gives you 56 degrees for H. So I believe we have found all of the values that we are interested in. Boom.